Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start by giving all honor, all praise, and all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rachakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and bishops of the great millstone that rule well. And as always, peace, blessings, and salutations unto those who elect tabernacle of David scattered abroad across the four winds of the earth. I got some bad news for Jake, which really, when I first saw this, I was like, man, this is really a blessing in disguise for Jake, because we know that Jake, their diet is very poor. They don't eat right. They eat all the, toxic garbage, foods that doesn't break down in their body. They only eat it because it tastes good. They got all this flavor enhancement. They get addicted to eating it. And all of us to a certain degree are guilty. But it's what contributes to the bad health, the chronic illnesses that Jake develops. So I thought initially, I'm like, this is actually a good thing. All right. And you see the headline that says new House bill proposes banning junk food purchases with SNAP benefits. All right. And, there used to be a point in time when your EBT card would cover damn near everything, probably except like utensils. You couldn't buy, paper towels and paper plates and stuff like that, foil or things like that. But all food products, you was able to purchase. But now, this bill would prohibit you from buying, your cookies and your chips, which is all not good for you. But, Jake like to buy it as a snack, something that you can just conveniently open up and eat, without having to, make preparations. Pretty much junk food is lazy food. If you don't feel like cooking anything, you don't want to put in the effort to prepare, you just want something real quick and easy and it tastes good to your taste buds. Knowing it's not good for you, then, you get, those are the things that you'll get. All right. But anyway, this is a new bill that they're saying that, if it goes through, your EBT card will not cover that. You got to go buy something else, buy something healthy for a change, so you can bring your regulate your blood pressure, and regulate your cholesterol and everything else that's, screwed up. But upon, reading this and understanding what precedent that this would set if this was to go through, it made me think back to programmable digital currency, which we said, would be the ultimate system, where the monetary system that we're going to be using, which is going to be eventually all digital, it will be programmed. All right. And the fact that it'll be in digital form, that would mean that this fascist government, they would have oversight over what you spend. They would know what you're spending your money on and how much, you're spending. Because then they will be able to limit the amount of a particular item that's being purchased. They will eventually have the say so on what you can spend and how much you can spend. All right. And what you get to spend it on, which is complete control. That's straight up fascist. All right. But I'm gonna just read this and then we'll get a few precepts, and then I want to play a few video clips, because this is what I'm thinking of. All right. So it says a new bill introduced in the U.S. House of Representatives aims to change how supplemental nutrition assistance program, which, yeah, if we're going to talk about nutrition, junk food is not real nutrition. We know this. You ain't getting no nutrients, out of your Doritos. All right. You're not getting any nutrition out of sugary drinks. All right. It says benefits commonly known as food stamps can be used. The legislation known as the Healthy SNAP Act will prohibit recipients from purchasing sugary drinks, candy, ice cream, and other junk foods with their benefits. So like I said, that's actually a good thing, because those are foods that Jake just they love it because it's already processed, it's made, and it just tastes good. But the lingering effects of it, when you consume too much of it, it's a slow death. And then you got to get on medication. Now you got to depend on big pharma, which is, this is how the game is set up. They make money either way. They need to keep you sick. But for them to actually switch this, so Jake don't have access to these type of things, and Jake is, doing poorly. Jake gonna have to go to the produce section and purchase. And it actually costs more to buy the healthier, more organic foods than the bullshit food. So you probably won't be able to cover much, but at least you'll be able to get more nutrition. It says the bill was introduced by Representative Josh Brechin, if I'm pronouncing it right, a Republican from Oklahoma who argues that taxpayer dollars should not be used to fund unhealthy food choices that contribute to long-term health issues. If someone wants to buy junk food on their own dime, that's up to them, Brechin said. But what we're saying is don't ask the taxpayer to pay for it. Yeah, just like I wouldn't spend money or give somebody a few dollars if they're going to go and buy some cigarettes, something that they're going to, use to spend for something that's going to cause bodily harm. I'm not wasting money on that because I wouldn't buy it for myself. It says, and then also expect the taxpayer to pick up the tab for the resulting health consequences. So that's actually a good point. I don't really see anything wrong with this, but when I was further pondering upon this, I said, okay, how are they going to do this though? So if you bring some ice cream or some candy to the counter, at the counter register, and they see that, and you pull out your food stamp card, your SNAP card or whatever, is the cashier gonna basically deny them and say, no, you can't buy that with that? Or is the food stamps gonna be programmable, where you try to go and actually slide it through the kiosk, the reader, and it actually prohibits you because what's being scanned. We just scanned this pack of cookies, or these which is all that shit is GMO. Your potato chips, because it's all processed. With a bunch of chemicals, flavor enhancers. So I'm wondering if the system will, after that item has been scanned, and then you try to put your card through the system, and it prohibits the transaction because of what you tried to purchase using that particular program. And that's kind of what I'm thinking. That's what I'm, gearing towards. That, this might set the precedent, to show that this monetary system that's, in the form of digital blockchain is going to be programmed, where they're going to be able to control not only what you can spend, but what you can spend your money on. So let me get this real quick in the scripture. I mean, I quoted, off the top, but I'll just go to it. It's like, yeah. 2 Corinthians 2:11. And it says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we're not ignorant of his devices. And you can't afford to be simple, especially in these last days, with how this devil is on the move right now. All right. Can't be ignorant in any matter, small or great. So I was like, maybe I'm thinking too far into it. Maybe I'm reaching, because it could be either or. They can really deny you at the register and be like, nah, you can't buy that with that. Just like if you tried to buy, toilet paper with food stamps. Nah, that's food stamps. You can't purchase, you got to use your own money for that. But they deny you, then that's one thing. But something is telling me that this is more geared towards them programming, your aid towards certain purchases, where they can control what you can spend and how you spend it. All right. And that warning been going out for quite some time now. So this is where I'm gonna segue and try to play a couple videos. And this is dealing with central bank digital currency, which is something that Trump, he really promised. I don't know if I could even say promise, but this was something that he imposed, where he said that we're not going to have a central bank digital currency. He's actually against it. But now that Elon Musk is in his corner, that can easily be changed, with the snap of a finger, with the drop of a dime. All right, because now all of a sudden he's this crypto lord now. So he's only going to do what the elites want him to do, and they've been talking for years that this is in the plan. You can even go back to the old interviews. We always bring out the clip from Aaron Russo that he had with Alex Jones about programmable currency and microchips. All right, which we all know what that is. So let me play this real quick.
Bank issued retail CBDC do that today cash and notes and coins can't do. And that's programmability, because when this cash gets transmitted through the system, it can't be programmed. But the retail CBDC that the central bank issues, as it goes through the system, it can be programmed. Because you are expressing money in token form, the ownership rights are expressed in digital form, in form of a program. And so you can write into the program conditions for its use. Once that conditions are met and the money is discharged, it goes back to its original form. So it is basically the ability to write a computer software program on money to move it around for a specific purpose. And after that, it ceases, and then it can be written by others who use that money. So the way I look at programmability is that it is an option that can be built into digital currencies that make them useful. So we need to be clear in our minds, what is it that CBDCs do that currently cash can't do? And one is programmability, but mostly I would think for domestic purposes.
So you heard that.
What is the central bank?
So so basically it can be conditioned in how you actually spend it. So anything in digital form can be programmed. Just like in a computer. All right, you can put all you can program your computer system. All right, however you want it. So let's go to this video real quick now and watch what he mentions specifically. One of the things that this man right here, what you're gonna hear him speak specifically when mentioning about the different currencies and how it could be used.
Inclusion, improve financial inclusion is through what we call programmability. That is, CBDC can allow government agencies and private sector players to program, to create smart contract, to allow targeted policy functions. For example, welfare payment. For example, consumption coupon. For example, food stamp. By programming CBDC.
Y'all heard these things, right? Y'all just heard that. Let me run that back. This is what I immediately thought about when I read about this bill. And knowing that we're in the midst of that transition, all right, I would not, it wouldn't surprise me at all. So you heard it first.
Policy functions. For example, welfare payment. For example, consumption coupon.
That's all your aid money, to help with your sustainable living. That can all be programmed.
For example, food stamp.
For example, food stamp. And now you got this bill being introduced in Oklahoma that will prohibit the buying of junk food with food stamps. And I honestly believe that they would be able to program your food stamp money, towards that particular agenda where, there's only certain foods that you can purchase with it. And the system would be programmable in that manner. Well, it'll be able to detect what you're trying to buy. And this is all part of that conditioning.
By programming CBDC, those money can be precisely targeted for what kind of people can own and what kind of use this money can be utilized. For example, for food. So this potential programmability can help government agencies to precisely target their support to those people who need support.
Yep. And that's what I'm seeing. All right. So what it all boils down to is control. All right. Fascism. The scripture says this real quick. Let me grab it. Let me get what the Lord said. Yeah, this is Mark 10:42. It says, "But Yahushua called them to him and said unto them, you know that they which are accounted to rule over the Gentiles exercise lordship over them, and their great ones exercise authority upon them." And we know that this is talking about the heathen, the actual Gentile, the Edomite, the Moabite, etc. All right. And that's exactly how the devil's at the top. All right, the top oligarchs of society, the elite, that this is how they envisioned how they were going to control the world. And they have all these different meetings and secret councils on how they want to do things. That's what the World Economic Forum is all about. This is from the Greek word.
Strong's G 2715. Katexuxiadzo. Katexuxiadzo.
And it says to have willed full privilege over, exercise authority. All right. Which is basically to have complete control. It says the power or right to give orders, make decisions and enforce obedience. A person or organization having power or control in a particular, typically political or administrative sphere. Okay. So that's basically what it is, man. Straight up control. Let me get this in Daniel 7:25, and I'm going to read it in the NLT. And it says, and this is dealing with the beast, right? Daniel 7:25, it says, he will defy the Most High, because that's what he's trying to be like the Most High. You know, he's trying to redesign, nature, redesign the natural order, all right, that the Lord set in the universe. He's trying to defy all of that. All right. He's trying to defy what actual food is. He's trying to defy what male and female is, etc. What medicine is, true medicine. It says he would defy the Most High and oppress the holy people of the Most High. That's us, you tribes. He will try to change their sacred festivals and laws, and they will be placed under his control for a time, times, and a half a time. And right now, we're under his control because the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. So this is how he's, taking his approach. He wants to rule over you in complete control. Straight fascist. And then you're going to really see that when they implement that credit-based system, and you could get an idea of that through this one show that we always mention, Black Mirror. The episode was Nosedive. When everybody had to be on their best behavior, and everything that they did was recorded on social media. And if you went against the societal norm, you would lose points. And certain things and certain privileges required certain amount of credits or points. And if you didn't have enough credits, then you wouldn't have the privilege. Go and watch that film. But that's basically the design infrastructure that these devils want to lay out. And, one of the best ways to do that is to control and program your monetary system. They can control your transaction, which you can buy and which you can sell, showing you, right, that they're going in that direction, which is MOTB bound. All right. And you still got Israelite groups out there that's still stuck on stupid to this day. All right. And they'll go into how, the mark is spiritual. They'll go into how it's sin, it's this and that. But when you bring up the function, the primary function of this mark, they got to create, some type of word salad, or they get the jewels in, mental gymnastics to try to, wiggle through what this is actually going into, what it's talking about. Revelation 13:16, it says, he require of everyone, small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to be given a mark on the right hand or on the forehead. And we know in the KJV, it says in your hand, in your right hand, or in your forehead. And no man could buy or sell anything without that mark. So it's going to be a transactional thing. You're not connected to the system and you don't have that device. You won't be able to make no purchase. If you don't have the customary technology, for this buy and selling method, you won't be able to sell anything. So every convenience store, every gas station, every grocery market. All right. Pretty much everywhere you go. If you're trying to go you got to get through the airport. You're gonna have to have that device, because everything will be digital, and the system will read everything off of that little device with all your information right on it. All right, it says, and if you don't have it, it's pretty much you cutting yourself off from society. It says, which was either the name of the beast or the number representing his name. All right, and wisdom is needed here. Let the one with understanding solve the meaning of the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. His number is 666. All right. So that's the conditioning, all right, in which they're setting, so that when it, happens, they're going to have that type of control over you. So they're going to be able to not only trace and track you down and monitor what you doing, but they can actually see everything. All right. What you spending your money on, how much of this item is being purchased. How often are they purchasing this item? Well, this goes against our climate change regulations. So you can't buy this much steak. You can't purchase this amount of meat. So, yeah, man, this is what I thought about. And let me get this video, and this is from Rosa Cora, which she passed away years ago. They might have taken her out, but she broke it all down as far as the agenda, the UN Agenda 2030. This is what they had in mind.
States, California. And my topic, what I speak about, is one of the most vitally important issues of our age, and that is United Nations Agenda 21, Sustainable Development. And as I'll be talking about tomorrow, it is the inventory and control plan. Inventory and control of all land, all water, all minerals, all plants, all animals, all construction, all means of production, all food, all energy, all information, and all human beings in the world. And this is a plan that was agreed to by 179 nations back in 1992. It's a United Nations plan. It's called the Agenda for the 21st Century. And so many of us around the world think that, sustainable development, it just sounds so great. Isn't it about recycling and creative reuse and creating energy and food resources for everyone? And the answer is no, it really is not.
It sure isn't. The scriptures say if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly, but in the end he would declare his wickedness. You'll never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. So it's definitely not with any good intentions, even though they try to, portray that. It's all about control, tyranny. Okay. So, this would be a good solution. Them designing or programming your food stamps towards what you can spend it on. This is a good way to transition into that type of system. And I mean, here's a good reason why they need to cut, taxpaying money from people spending it on bullshit that's keeping people sick, and you got to pay for that too. But this is setting the precedent for something else. And they can also say, well, if we just do it by denying people at the register of, making purchases on certain foods that's considered junk food. You know, what if the person working at the register, what if they be like, hey, I'll let you slide because hey, I got kids too. You know, I'm not gonna deny, you know, food from my children's mouth. So, you know, you'll have people that'll try to empathize and they'll let it slide, you know, or they might not be paying attention and they can, you know, pass it through the kiosk and it go right in the bag and now you can get it. So Jake will find out a way to get around it. You won't be able to get around it if it's programmable. Like if you have to go through self-checkout and the kiosk read everything that you just ran through the scanner. So you try to put that food stamp card in there, it's going to deny, you know, some of those purchases. You know, I could see that. And that's the conditioning of programmable currency using these aid programs. So, you know, that's just, you know, my thoughts. And like the scriptures say, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we're not ignorant of his devices. This is what they can actually do with this. But hopefully y'all were edified. I'm going to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh Shai. Until the next lesson, Shalom.